You've spent your entire life looking through your eyes, but have you ever stopped to ask, who's looking? There's a strange thing that happens when you sit in silence long enough. The noise doesn't stop. The thoughts don't vanish. But something shifts. You begin to notice that you are not just thinking, you are watching yourself think. And in that moment, a question arises that cannot be unasked. If I can observe my thoughts, then who am I? This is not philosophy. This is not religion. This is the edge of something far more intimate. Something that's been with you since before you had a name. Before you learned to call yourself I. We live our lives so forward-facing, always reaching, always becoming. We chase goals, build identities, defend our beliefs, protect our stories. We say, I am this kind of person. We say, I believe this. We say, I know who I am. And yet, if you sit with that statement long enough, it begins to tremble, because the I, that claims to know, is also the I being known. You see, consciousness is not a thing you have. It's not a feature of your brain, like memory or logic. It's not a skill you develop or a state you achieve. Consciousness is the space in which everything appears. It's the light by which all experience becomes visible. And yet, we've never seen it directly. We can't touch it. We can't measure it. We can't even describe it without using it to do the describing. That's why it remains the last mystery. Science has mapped the brain. We know which neurons fire when you feel fear, when you recall a memory, when you fall in love. But nowhere in that firing is the experience itself. Nowhere in the chemicals is the feeling of what it's like to be you. You can scan a brain watching a sunset, but the scan will never show you the color gold spreading across the sky inside someone's awareness. It will never show you the ache of beauty, the quietness of awe. This gap between the measurable and the felt is where consciousness lives. And it's not out there. It's here, right now. You are it. Let me tell you what the mystics knew, what the sages whispered, what every awakened soul has discovered in the stillness. You are not inside your body. Your body is inside your awareness. Think about that. Right now, you are aware of your breath. You are aware of the weight of your body. You are aware of sounds, sensations, thoughts drifting by. But you, the awareness itself, are untouched by any of it. Thoughts come and go. Emotions rise and fall. The body ages. The mind changes. But the awareness that witnesses it all remains. This is what they mean when they say consciousness is eternal. Not that you as a person will live forever, but that the awareness experiencing you is not bound by time. It doesn't begin when you wake up and end when you sleep. It's not born when the body is born, nor does it die when the body dies. It's the unchanging background of all change. The Sufis called it the witness. The Buddhists call it pure awareness. Zen masters call it the mind before thinking. And scientists, puzzled, call it the hard problem of consciousness. Because no matter how much we study the brain, we cannot explain why there is something it feels like to be alive. But here's the deeper truth. You don't need to explain it. You only need to recognize it. Because you already are it, every moment of your life. You have been consciousness experiencing itself through the lens of a human story. You have been the sky watching clouds pass. You have been the ocean feeling its own waves. And all this time, you thought you were the wave. You thought you were the story, the name, the history, the personality. But you are not the content of your awareness. You are the awareness itself. And once you see this, really see it, everything changes. Because the things that once seemed so solid begin to soften. The identity you defended so fiercely starts to feel like a costume you wore, not the skin you were born in. The thoughts that tormented you become weather patterns moving through a vast sky. And you, the real you, remain untouched, spacious, and free. This is not detachment. It's not coldness. It's the deepest intimacy possible. Because when you stop identifying as the small, separate self, you become connected to everything. You realize that the same awareness looking through your eyes is looking through every pair of eyes. The same presence breathing you is breathing the world. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the ocean in a drop. So here's the shift. It's small, but it's everything. Today, just once pause, not to think about this, but to feel it. Close your eyes if you can, take a breath, and ask yourself, who is aware of this breath? Don't answer with words, just notice. Notice that there is an awareness present. Notice that it's always been there. Quiet, steady, watching. You don't have to understand it. You don't have to name it. Just acknowledge it. That awareness, that is you. Not the worry about tomorrow. Not the regret from yesterday. Not the story you tell yourself about who you are or who you should be. That. The one noticing it all. You have spent so long trying to find yourself. Trying to become someone. Trying to figure out your purpose, your path, your place in the world. But maybe the deepest discovery is this: you were never lost. You are the space in which lostness appears. You are the awareness in which all seeking happens. And you have always been here, whole, awake, enough. What if the loneliness you feel isn't because you're alone, but because you've forgotten what you're made of? There's a kind of ache that lives inside most of us. It's quiet. It doesn't scream. But it hums beneath everything, a low note of separation. We feel it in crowds. We feel it in silence. We feel it even when we're loved. It's the feeling that something is missing. That we are incomplete. That somewhere, somehow we were divided from something essential, and we've been searching for it ever since. We try to fill it with people, with success, with distraction, with meaning, and sometimes, briefly, it works. We feel connected. We feel whole. But then the feeling fades, and the ache returns, and we're back to searching. But what if the separation was never real? What if the feeling of being isolated, of being a separate self in a foreign world, was the illusion? And what if consciousness, the very thing you are, is the proof? Because here's what no one tells you. The boundary you feel between you and the world exists only in thought. It's a story, a useful one, yes. It helps you navigate life, make decisions, protect your body. But it's not ultimate truth. In direct experience right now, in this moment, where does you end and the world begin? You might say, ate my skin. But your skin is touched by air. The air fills your lungs. The oxygen becomes your blood. The food you ate yesterday is now your cells. The light entering your eyes is shaping your thoughts. The words you're hearing are changing your brain. So where is the line? The mystics have always known separation is a trick of the mind. A necessary illusion for survival, but an illusion nonetheless. Consciousness is not confined to your skull. It's not trapped behind your eyes. It's the field in which all experience occurs, and that field has no edges. Think of it like this. Imagine the ocean. Now imagine a wave rising from it. The wave has a shape, a height, a name. It moves, it crashes, it dissolves. And while it exists, it feels separate. It feels like an individual thing. But was it ever separate from the ocean? Was there ever a moment when the wave was not made entirely of water? You are the wave. Consciousness is the ocean. And just like the wave, you are not separate from the whole. You are a temporary expression of it, a shape it's taking, a pattern it's forming. But you are not other than it. This is what the Upanishads meant when they said, Tat Tivamasi, thou art that. You are not a small fragment gazing at a vast universe. You are the universe gazing at itself. Every person you meet is another face of the same awareness. Every tree, every bird, every stone, different forms, same essence. The consciousness looking through your eyes is the same consciousness looking through all eyes. There is only one awareness, endlessly refracting through countless perspectives. And this changes everything. Because if you are not separate, then you are not alone, ever. The loneliness you feel is the forgetting of this. It's the belief that you are a solitary self in a cold, indifferent cosmos. But once you remember, once you see the isolation dissolves, you realize you are held by the same intelligence that holds the stars. You are moved by the same force that moves the tides. You are the entire universe concentrated into this single, miraculous point of view. And that's not a metaphor. That's physics. That's mysticism. That's the truth hiding in plain sight. Here's a practice. A doorway. Next time you look at another person, anyone, pause. Just for a breath. And ask silently, what if the awareness in them is the same awareness in me? Not metaphorically, not poetically, but actually. What if the presence behind their eyes is the same presence behind yours? What if we are all apertures through which the same consciousness is looking out? You don't have to believe it. Just consider it. And notice what happens. Notice if the distance between you softens. Notice if judgment loosens. Notice if, just for a second, you feel what the Buddhists call meta-boundless, unconditional connection. Because the truth is, you have never been separate. You've only believed you were. And belief, no matter how convincing, is not the same as reality. You were not born into this world. You were born out of it, like a flower from soil, like a wave from the sea. You are not an accident. You are not an outsider. You are not separate. You are what the universe is doing right here, right now. And the ache you've been carrying, the loneliness, the search, it ends the moment you remember you are already home. You think your thoughts define you. But what if they're just weather passing through an infinite sky? There's a voice in your head. You know the one. It narrates your life. It judges. It worries. It replays conversations. It imagines futures. It builds entire worlds out of nothing, and sometimes those worlds feel more real than the moment you're actually living in. And somewhere along the way, you started believing that voice is you. You started thinking that your thoughts are your identity, that your feelings are who you are, that the stories you tell yourself about your past, your worth, your limits, are the truth. But they're not. They're just thoughts. Just patterns of energy moving through consciousness. And the real you, the awareness hosting them, is as untouched by them as a mirror is untouched by the images it reflects. This is one of the most liberating realizations a human being can have. You are not your mind. You are what notices the mind. The mind is a tool, a brilliant one. It solves problems, it creates language, it builds civilizations. But it was never meant to be the master. It was meant to serve awareness, not replace it. And yet, for most of us, the mind has taken over. It runs constantly. It narrates endlessly. It creates suffering out of thin air fear of things that haven't happened. Regret over things that can't be changed. Anxiety about things that may never come. And we believe it. We believe every thought that arises. We believe we are the thinker. But here's the truth the sages discovered: thoughts are not you. They are in you, like clouds in the sky. Like fish in the ocean, they come and go, but the space that holds them, consciousness itself, never wavers. When you're anxious, you are not anxiety. You are the awareness noticing anxiety. When you're angry, you are not anger. You are the presence feeling anger move through you. When you're lost in thought, you are not the thought. You are the silence in which thought appears. This distinction is everything. Because once you see it, you gain space. You gain choice. You're no longer swept away by every mental storm. You can watch the storm, acknowledge it, let it move, and remain rooted in the stillness beneath it. The Buddhists call this witness consciousness. The Stoics called it the inner citadel. Carl Jung called it the self, and neuroscience now confirms it. There is a part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, that can observe your thoughts without being consumed by them. But this isn't just a brain function. It's what you are. You are the vast, unchanging awareness in which the mind does its dance. And the moment you realize this, the mind loses its tyranny. Here's how you begin to reclaim yourself. Sit quietly, just for a minute. And instead of thinking, watch your thoughts. Don't engage them. Don't follow them. Don't judge them. Just notice them arising. Like watching cars pass on a distant highway. A thought comes, I'm not good enough. Notice it. Don't believe it. Don't argue with it. Just observe. Oh, there's a thought about not being good enough. Another thought. What if something goes wrong? Notice it. There's a thought about the future. Another. I shouldn't have said that. Notice it. There's a thought about the past. And as you do this, something miraculous happens. You realize, I am not these thoughts. I am the one noticing them. And in that recognition, you are free. You have been lost in the noise for so long, lost in the voice, lost in the story. But you were never truly lost. You were just looking in the wrong direction. The real you has been here all along, quiet, spacious, unshaken. And it's waiting for you to remember. What if awakening isn't about becoming someone new, but remembering who you've always been? We spend so much of our lives trying to arrive somewhere, trying to become someone. We chase enlightenment like it's a destination, a peak to climb, a state to achieve, a prize to win. But what if awakening is not ahead of you? What if it's not something you reach after years of meditation, after reading the right books, after finally getting it? What if awakening is simply this moment, this breath, this awareness right here noticing these words? What if you've been searching for something you've never actually lost? The great secret, the one hidden in every spiritual tradition, is this: you are already whole, not broken and trying to fix yourself, not incomplete and trying to find your missing piece, not asleep and trying to wake up. You are already awake. You've always been awake. Consciousness doesn't sleep. It doesn't come and go. It's the constant backdrop of every experience you've ever had. The seeking, the searching, the striving, it's all happening inside the very thing you're looking for. It's like a fish searching for water, like the sun looking for light. You are already it. And the spiritual journey, in the deepest sense, is not about gaining something new. It's about recognizing what's already here. It's about removing the layers of misidentification, the false beliefs, the conditioned patterns, the stories, and seeing clearly what remains. And what remains is this simple, open, boundless awareness. The same awareness that was here when you were 5 years old. The same awareness that will be here on your last day. Unchanged, untouched, eternal. This is what the Zen masters point to with their koans. What Rumi sang about in his poetry. What Eckhart Tolle calls presence. What Ramana Maharshi called the self. It's not mystical in the sense of being far away. It's mystical in the sense of being so close, so obvious that we overlook it completely. You are not a person having consciousness. You are consciousness having a human experience. And once you see that, truly see it, everything relaxes. The pressure to become dissolves. The fear of not being enough falls away. Because you realize you were never not enough. You were always the fullness itself, temporarily pretending to be small. So here's the final invitation. Not a practice, not a technique, just a gentle return. Right now, wherever you are, stop trying. Stop trying to understand. Stop trying to improve. Stop trying to become more aware. Just be aware. That's all. Notice that you're already here, already present, already consciousness itself, effortlessly being. You don't have to do consciousness. You don't have to achieve awareness. You are it. You've always been it. And every moment you spend searching for, it is a moment spent overlooking the miracle of your own existence. So rest. Rest in what you are. Not the story, not the identity, not the past or the future. Just this presence. This quiet knowing that you exist, that you are. That's it. That's the whole thing. You came here looking for an answer, a revelation, a teaching that would finally make it all make sense. But the deepest teaching is this: you are the answer. Consciousness is not a mystery to be solved. It's a truth to be lived. And you are living it right now, in this moment. You are the universe waking up to itself. You are the mystery becoming aware of its own existence. And that's not a metaphor. That's not poetry. That's the simple, undeniable, breathtaking truth. You are it. You've always been it. And you always will be. Welcome home.